Yo, welcome to another season of the Underdog Podcast ZA, hosted by yours truly, Tshepo Tshinyi Peele, Wamabucha, also known as Dirty Harry, and also known as New Age Stopboard. We've had a great first season, and now we're looking forward to the second season. We have a lot of stuff coming up for you, but first and foremost, I want to thank our supporters on social media platforms, on our YouTube page. You guys are an inspiration. We do this because of you guys. You have been a great source of inspiration and motivation to us, and we'd really like to thank you for that. And we encourage you to send more and more people our way, more and more people to our page. Comment, like, share, do everything you gotta do to make sure that the Underdog Podcast from South Africa reaches the highest heights ever. We would also like to thank our own families for their support, my personal family, my brothers, my cousins, all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. I would personally like to thank the Backyard Creatives for the great work they do behind the scenes. My producer, my director, Tunnel Vision, thank you so much. You know, there's so much that goes into this that people don't know, but here we are. Thank you in Senegal, Dakar. Thank you for watching. Merci beaucoup. Bonjour. Merci beaucoup. In the DRC, thank you so much for watching us. Merci beaucoup. We really, really appreciate your support. We really appreciate your comments. And we are here because of you. And without any further ado, I'd like to get on to the show. This is a very special episode that we are doing today. It's the first episode of Season 2. And I think, personally, you're going to love Season 2 more than you love Season 1. Anyway, so a lot of things are happening this year in South Africa. You should know. Hello. Here's the flag. You should know. A lot of things are happening in South Africa this year, but none more important than the South African elections. Now, personally, I would like to know if you're voting this year. And if you are voting this year, I would like you to vote logically. Use your mind to vote. Don't use your heart. Vote logically, not emotionally. And if you are voting and you've decided on a party, I hope that you have at least read a manifesto. And a manifesto is something that political parties put out when they make their promises and tell us how they're going to run our country. It's really important that you do that, because if you do not do that, if you do not read a manifesto, if you do not listen to a speech, then you don't know what people are promising, and that ultimately means you cannot hold them accountable. We need to hold our leaders accountable for everything that is happening in our country, right? So please, please, please go out there, register, go out there and vote, but make sure that when you are voting, you're voting with your head and not with your heart, right? Manifesto, speeches. If you can't read, listen to a speech. Anyway, that's me for now. We're coming back, and when we come back, we're coming back with some questions from you, most esteemed viewers. Thank you. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for still being here. Appreciate your support. So on the next part, so we asked people on social media in a couple of posts on Facebook, and we asked them on X, on Twitter. We asked them, guys, please ask us questions for this very special episode, and they did that. However, before we move on to that, right, I think it's really important for us to focus on what is up for the next season, right? So the next season is going to be really different. Number one, we are going to have more than one guest on the show, right? So there will be 2 guests in the show. And it will be a more conversational type of format where people are talking. We will still keep profiling. However, when we are profiling, we'll make sure that we are talking about actually issues that are affecting our communities, issues that are within our communities that need to be looked at. So that's the first part. The second part, so this is something that came up in the last season, right? So there were a lot of questions around whether or not we give people alcohol. We give people alcohol. So initially, that's not what we did. but we have seen an increase. As I say that, actually, we've seen an increase in people asking for alcohol during profiling. So we will be giving them alcohol, but it's only the people that want to drink. So those that don't want to drink, we will not be giving them alcohol, obviously. And as you can see, I'm holding a bottle of Black Fox in my hand. It means we are really moving because we're having brands come up to us and asking us for some support as well. But thank you so much for that. So yes, so we will be giving people alcohol, those that do want to, and that's just that. Nothing more to do with that. Thirdly, every 2 episodes will have a host. So we are introducing guest hosting, and this means we will not have a full-time host, but we will have a host that is guest hosting. So every month, for those 2 episodes, and every month, we'll have a guest host. And this means it could be anyone. And if you would like to be a guest host, all you gotta do is send us your 2-minute video showing us what you do to this email address, underdogpodcastza@gmail.com. Show us a 2-minute video of what you can actually do. And who knows, you might actually be here hosting instead of me. I will be moving to the background as the EP, of course. We already have a producer, we already have a director. I am the EP, and then we'll have our own guest host coming in. So we'll be rotating every 2 months, and every month we'll have 2 episodes. So look out for that. Really, really beautiful stuff coming up for you. Just hoping that you understand that the format is changing, but it doesn't mean the podcast itself is changing. We are still profiling underdogs. We are still profiling people that are coming up, or people that are doing amazing stuff within their communities and just don't have the recognition or the amplification or the support or the resources to be out there so you can see them. And that's the third part. And number 4, and last but not least, which is like one of the best parts of this, number 4 is that all our episodes now will be 45 minutes, baby. 45 minutes, right? Because you guys were complaining, Tshepo, the episodes are too short, the episodes this, the episodes that. So we decided to make episodes 45 minutes long, this way making sure that we capture and encapsulate everything that comes up in an episode. So look out for that. This is really going to be an amazing season from now until the end of the year. And just to say, this flag is not just here for anything, right? This flag is here because we are in support of Bafana Bafana. We are shooting, it's a Wednesday. Yes, the episode will come out on Friday, but this is just to show how patriotic we actually are. We are in support of Bafana Bafana tonight, playing against Nigeria, and we do hope that the boys do what they do best, which is win, 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 right? All we do is win, win, win. We South Africa, baby. Congratulations to Bafana Bafana for making it this far, and we are looking forward to watching their game tonight as they take on Nigeria. We also want to give a shout out to the Proteas team touring the South Pacific, out there in Australia and New Zealand. We are with you, we are supporting you, and we hope that you'll come back with a series victory. If it's not ODI, then it's Test. If it's not Test, then it's T20. Either way, we are supporting. Moving right along, so Viva Bafana Bafana. But moving right along, we are now moving into the questions. This is where you ask us questions and I gotta answer them. There've been some personal questions, but there's also questions about the podcast, which I think are really important and should be answered, right? So moving on to the first question. These questions, of course, were posted on social media, so on Messenger and our DMs, so they were DM'd to us. And the first question comes from Shadrach Mshika, and it came via Facebook. And the question was, what is the biggest lesson from starting the podcast? And I felt this was a really deep question for me. So there's a lot of lessons that I learned, and I wouldn't say one is big or one is small, but I think one of the biggest lessons we've learned is that social media has a lot of pros, but it also has a lot of cons. And I say that because it has, in a way, connected us, but it has also created even bigger silos than we had before social media. And the reason I say that is because sometimes I get an opportunity to go through our social media DMs, and people are DMing that they just want to chat. Can you imagine that? Someone DMing at 3 a.m. that they just want to chat. So this shows me that there's a lot of loneliness. So social media is not only a connector, but it's a disconnector. So keeps people in silos, but also connects people. So going through some of the DMs and looking at what people are saying, I realized that a lot of people are not happy, and they're alone and they need someone to talk to. This is why they would DM us and think that someone is on the page 24/7. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So that's one of the biggest takeaways for me in terms of the biggest lessons from the podcast. Right? Thank you for that question, Shadrach Mshika. The second question was, who has been your favorite guest so far? So I don't have a favorite guest. I will tell you that right from the bat. I don't have a favorite guest, but I have episodes which I feel that people didn't quite get. And one of those episodes is an episode I had with Godfrey. I think there's a lot of stuff that Godfrey said there that went over people's heads, and I would encourage people to go look at that episode again just to check out what Godfrey was actually saying. Forget me in that episode, but actually listen to what he was saying. Another episode like that was Xolani's episode, Xolani Shezi's episode, which was Xolani's Zaza Eyewear founder. I think there's a lot of stuff that Xolani also said in that episode that just, went unnoticed. And the reason I say this is because there's a lot of spiritual talk in those episodes that people didn't quite get or didn't quite understand. And I really feel like if you really go back into those episodes and you listen carefully, you might learn a thing or two. But other than that, I think every guest I've had has been an amazing guest. Thabo was amazing. Lerato was amazing. Trina was amazing. Godfrey was amazing. And of course, Xolani was amazing. So season 1, in a nutshell, with all of its teething problems, we really had great guests. So go back, watch those episodes. Even if you watch all of them, it's still okay, right? You're still making a good thing. Okay, anyway, moving on to the next question. Is this your full-time job? And this was a question from Twinkle Jaggernaut. Oh, before that, actually, the last question was from Vincent Makeke Jackson. Thank you for that question, Vincent. This question, is this your full-time job, comes from Twinkle Jaggernaut. No, this is not my full-time job. This is my creative escape, if I were to put it that way. This is my creative escape. So this is what I use to escape my full-time job. Not that I need an escape, but this is what I use for that. And as of this moment, just to be quite honest with you, I'm actually putting money into this, right? So money is not coming to me, but I'm putting money into this. So it's not my full-time job, but I love doing this. And I will give more and more people an opportunity to become hosts through this platform, because I really feel like this is a platform that you can get a lot of exposure from, right? And there was a question from Twinkle Jaggernaut. So I hope that answered your question. The next question is, how much money do you make per episode or per month? So to be quite honest with you, I don't get money. Like the previous question probably answered this, but I don't get money. I'm actually putting money into this. And this is a good thing, because I really believe in this product, and I really believe that in the long run, this product is going to be something that we'll look back on and feel like we've actually done something amazing, right? So it's not about money at the end of the day. It's more about, hey, this is what we've done, and this is what we've put. The hard work behind this is more important to me than the actual money making. The money making will come after the hard work. Okay? I hope that answers your question. And that question came from Poloso Nemukula. And that question came through X, right? Formerly known as Twitter. The question came through that. Thank you for that question. We really appreciate it. The next question comes from Pretty Boy K. So there's a person called Pretty Boy K, a big fan of ours, who's always commenting, who's always sending shout outs to us. And his question was, what inspired me to do this podcast? So my inspiration for this, to be quite honest, and my objective at the end of the day. So I'll start with the inspiration. So the inspiration to do this is because I really feel like we are living in a country right now where people feel like everything is instant. Everything is a microwave life. You know what I mean? And I wanted to show them that actually people work for the stuff that they have. This is why I've invited the kind of people I've invited on the show. These are hard workers, right? So that's why I did this. And the objective is to inspire and to motivate upcoming youngins to see that, actually, I don't have to be a musician, I don't have to be an actor, I don't have to be on TV. I can actually have a great career that has got nothing to do with fame and still make it in my life and still make my parents proud, my community proud, you know what I mean? And make myself proud, which is the most important thing. So I really feel like that is a really great question, and that is the objective, right? We want to inspire, we want to motivate young people coming up to see that they could do anything. South Africa is alive with possibilities, guys. Let's not lie. South Africa is an amazing country. And take it from someone that has traveled the world. South Africa is an amazing country which is alive with possibilities. You will never understand that until you find yourself traveling outside your country or even outside your province, even outside your township. You know what I mean? So just know that we are trying to inspire you guys, the youngins, the people that are coming up, the people with the great ideas. We want you to make those ideas a reality, okay? So thank you for that question, and another amazing question. The next question comes from Jan Louis Brewer. And this question came through X, formerly known as Twitter. And the question is, can I learn more about your business? Which is a really good question. So this is a very fickle business. It's not really a business. It's more, like I said, it's my creative outlet. For me, it's a creative outlet. I don't view it as a business, right? But in order for you to do something like this, you really have to start where you are. Start where you are. Don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you already have, right? If you have a camera phone, start with that. Start recording yourself doing stuff, right? Start recording yourself talking to people. Go out on the street, talk to people, and you'll realize that the minute you start, it's very easy for you to continue, right? It's very difficult for you to stop. So start with what you have. It does not matter what it is. Start with what you have, okay? Jan Louis Brewer with a question from X, formerly known as Twitter. So on to our next question, which was a very personal question, I must say. And this question comes from Sharon Nika, and it also came through a DM on Messenger Facebook. And Sharon's question was, are you married? Actually, no, Sharon, I'm not married. But I am in a relationship. I'm exclusively dating someone, and I can see your confusion where it comes from, because I always have a ring on my ring finger, wedding finger, apparently. And this is a promise ring, right? But I lost the actual promise ring. This is a ring, another ring, but I lost the actual promise ring. No, I'm exclusively dating someone, and I'm really happy where I am right now. She's the light of my life right now, and I really appreciate that. She's a crazy person, so I think I hope, actually not I think, I hope this is your last DM about my marital status, or whether or not if I'm dating or seeing someone, okay? So, so Sharon, I'm not married, but I'm exclusively dating someone, and I'm very happy, okay? So, cool. Moving on to our next question. How can I get onto the podcast as a guest? So that is really easy. So you see this email address here, underdogpodcastza@gmail.com. Send your profile to this email address. And what we will do is that we will review your profile, and then we'll get in touch with you after that. Okay? That's all you have to do. All you have to do, just send your profile to this email address, underdogpodcastza@gmail.com. Okay? Or hit us up on our page, Underdog Podcast ZA on Facebook, and let us know that you want to be a guest, and we'll give you more details there. Either way, you're still good. Okay? And that question came from Stephen Aronser, and that question came through Facebook Messenger as well. Question number 9. Ooh, we've gone through so many questions, my God. Well, we've gone through so many questions. And we are running out of time because this is the only 30-minute episode we'll have in this season. The question is, who is my biggest inspiration? And I have to say my biggest inspiration is my family. My family has been supportive of me, everything that I've done as Tshepo, everything that I've done. And that is my biggest inspiration. I'm talking about my mom. Hi, Bochla. Hi, baby girl. How you doing? Love of my life. She's been so amazing, so inspirational to me. My grandmother, who's my mom's mom, who was my ultimate source of inspiration, always pushing me, always making sure that I don't give up. They never gave up, man. They grew up in hard times and they never gave up. So why would I give up? And last but not least, my dad, who also is my inspiration because I know how he came up. And you know what? Appreciate you, bruv. And my parents watch the show. My parents are my biggest supporters. They're always watching the show. So I really appreciate you. And those are my biggest source of inspiration. Those are my parents, my mom, my dad, and my grandmother, and my grandfather, and my whole family, right? Because they've always supported me. The last question, are you related to DJ Spoo? This always cracks me up because I have people on the street always asking me that as well, if I'm related to DJ Spoo. I don't know why that is. At first I thought it was the head and someone said it was the voice. It's a whole lot of stuff. But no, I'm not related to DJ Spoo at all. But I am inspired by DJ Spoo. DJ Spoo is one of the best entrepreneurs I've known in this lifetime that I'm living. So I'm not related to DJ Spoo, but I am inspired by DJ Spoo a lot. And that's got nothing to do with my voice, that's got nothing to do with my hair, that's something completely different to that. And salute to DJ Spoo wherever he is. And I think, if anything, you should also be supporting DJ Spoo as part of your journey. So, wow, whew, that feels like a lot. I feel like I've just ran through everything. Which is something I did not want to do because I wanted you guys to know me a little bit better as New Age Stapura, as Dirty Harry, as Tshepo Tshinyi Peele wa Mabucha. But this brings us to the end of our monologue part of this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode and you've learned a little more, not only about me, but about the podcast, the Underdog Podcast ZA, made in South Africa, as you can see. Supporting Bafana, making sure that our boys are there, supporting the Proteas women wherever they are, in Australia or New Zealand, we're supporting them as well. The next part of this episode will be a montage of previous episodes, funny moments from the previous episodes we've had. And that's it from me. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. This is a great year to be an underdog because they'll never see you coming.
Kids bahola ka the stage, and every time it's a stage that lasts a while.
Puberty,
teenage, you know, yeah. So it lasts, you know. So whatever stage your child is at, you got to ride that wave. You got to hold on, stay on that surfboard. Do not fall over, because when you fall over, this is when you start feeling that you failed your child. You know, you start getting into this dark hole and whatnot. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to make sure that you stay on that surfboard and you ride that wave with your child. Yeah. That is the best you can do for your child right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, I have to say, I am really, really proud of the men I'm surrounded by. Right. Because you guys are father figures.
Yeah.
You know, you're father figures not only to your own children, but to children within the community as well.
Yeah.
People look up to you. Right? And people see you with your whip of it, you know, like, oh man, that's my car, right? Yeah. And that's exciting. I mean, that's role model type things, right? And for you to say ride the wave, I completely understand that. Because obviously, I mean, there's so many things that are happening right now. You know, you can't force the fellow. No, yes, I am.
Yeah.
So, okay. No, on a flop where Mr. Fatherhood, time a little time. We are switching gears, man.
Yeah.
And next, it's these guys, but sleep past Woolworth. They've made it in life. I'm coming up for them. They must be ready.
Can I be sleeper?
Yes, but morning shoes.
Yes.
So, no, guys. I think we need to learn the basics. I think it's and my man, if you go out with gowns, come on, it says a lot about where you come from.
Okay.
And how do you want? Number one, gown A Nikki postile. It's dirty. We are go square. Gown A. It's past 12. You are wearing that, and then guys don't approach you. Anyways, I didn't have any problem because somebody never failed. Have I born in train?
Okay.
So if you're a girl, I believe I was raised by a strict woman. I keep with I'll treat you like a girl.
Yeah.
So these are the chores that you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to take care of yourself. You need to be clean.
Yeah.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
I've heard that.
So if you're not clean, only dirty.
These two personalities, right? Let's dive a little more into the personal one. That's not professional. I've seen you dancing. I didn't know you were a dancer, my guy. Yeah, I've seen you do some moves there.
Yeah. But not like before.
Yeah.
Not like before. I think also age is catching up.
Yeah.
I don't know, I enjoy sitting down having my wine.
You're a wine
and interacting with people, yeah.
I see. Okay. I also see that you're also still into events a little bit. I think there's something that you're doing as well, maybe on Sundays that you do.
Yeah, I'd retired in the event space until a friend of mine said, "Hey, Joe, man, come through, let's do this thing on a Sunday."
Yeah.
So I work with the gents at Shop to Shop.
Okay.
I curate their Sundays.
Okay.
I decided, you know what, I love the entertainment space, but I'm done with promoting.
Okay.
The only time I'm gonna come back into the entertainment space is when I own my own place.
Aha.
Also, that is still on the cards.
You know, this is amazing because I constantly meet people who say, I want to leave my job, but I can't because I have so many debts. And you've done that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had some cushion, a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, and some support system because you never know until you leave the job.
Exactly.
You know, you'll never know how much support you have until you actually leave the job. Then
You're
you
right.
know, right?
You're right.
But great. Now, I want to know the kind of challenges in starting this thing up. Because it's not like it happened like that.
No.
I'm sure you went through some stuff there.
Nah.
Yeah.
So I mean, just me leaving there, I obviously registered my company, which was the easiest part.
Yeah.
Getting a website was also kind of an easy part because, you know, you pay somebody 4.5 fee at the time, they set up your website, you know what you want, you know, you do your thing. And so it was, the reality for me sank in about, I think about a month in, you know, because obviously now I'm waking up, nobody's telling me what time to wake up, okay? And then it's okay, so it's okay, now I have to work, now I'm doing the business, right? So I kind of, you know, structure my emails, structure my proposals, do those kind of things. But it's when you then start calling up people, it's when you start sending those emails, you're not getting the responses you would like, or not even getting a response at all. And then you start calling up people and then it's like, oh, okay, but who are you? And then, no, I'm Media Masters, the company was Media Masters at the time.
Okay.
I'm the director of Media Masters. But who is Media Masters? Send me a profile.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh shucks, I didn't even have a profile. Then I have to go back and do a profile, send it to the person. And then it's like, oh, okay, but then what have you done? And it's like, oh shucks. Because remember now with brand management, or with brand activations, you're dealing with, you know, your big brands, quite established brands.
Yeah.
So you come into that space, it's not just like, 2 pages and then people will just trust me with even 50K, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the reality for me was that, okay, I'm not known, and now, okay, I've got my profiles, I've got my website, but now what next, you know? And so engaging in different conversations in different corners, what do I need to do? Somebody's like, no man, go and get a professional business plan together, you know,
Wait. This brings up a question in my mind. What did you do? You said varsity. What did you do in varsity? Marketing. Okay, so you did marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, try media.
I got BCom in marketing.
BCom marketing. Look at you.
Yeah, you know.
Look at you. That's my boy. You know. That's hard work right there.
Yeah.
And Prime Media. Yeah. How was that?
Prime Media was great, man. You know, Prime Media was super great. It was more. So I went from the activation space to more of the advertising and marketing space. You know?
Okay.
Where we're looking at selling billboards, selling spaces in malls. You know, coming with creative concepts for for brands to be involved with consumers, you know?
Yeah.
So that's basically my role. I was an account exec for a while, and then I became account manager, you know, and then I grew, and then, so how I started this entrepreneurship journey on myself, it wasn't intentionally per se, you know. In 2019, the whole department got retrenched. I was part of the activation side in the Prime Media
Space, yeah, in a company. Yeah.
exactly, like the whole spectrum corner. So what happened is that we got retrenched as a whole department. I think about plus minus 55 people lost their jobs and everything.